Greetings and welcome. You're tuned into TMH Daily English News. The headlines today. The international health institutions are urged to support Tigray's health system devastated by this ongoing war. At least 1,900 children under 5 have died from malnutrition in Ethiopia's embattled Tigray region in the past year. 10 people have been killed and 34 injured in a renewed clashes in Oromo special zones of the Amhara region. The International Health Institution has asked to support Tigray's health system devastated by this ongoing war. The call was made at an international forum organized by Johns Hopkins University, focusing on destruction of health infrastructures in Tigray as well as Ukraine. Professor Mulgeta Gabraxavir from the University of South Carolina had this to say regarding the extent of the destruction on the health institutions within the Tigray region.
We did this mapping, and you can see really fairly there was a good distribution of the health facilities around Tigray, and the red is showing you that none of them are functional at all. They are destroyed. And there are some that are fully functional, and there are some that are partially functional, and there are some that are under occupation. Broadly speaking, as I summarize, only 13.5% of hospitals and health centers in none of the 712 health posts are fully functional at all. Now, you might be wondering, actually, well, there are wars going on. There is no small war, but the war in Tigray is the world's deadliest war. To give you some context, a year ago, June 2021, the EU envoy to the Horn, to Ethiopia, Mr. Pekka Haavisto, talked about the Ethiopian leadership vowed to wipe out Tigrayans. So this is 7 million people in the Tigray region. And you can see the next picture is from just this April. It's a joint report by the Amnesty International and the Human Rights Watch. You can see there crimes against humanity and ethnic cleansing in Ethiopia, Western Tigray. We will erase you from this land. So, a year ago or even now, what you hear is intent really to harm a certain group of people.
Professor Mulgeta Gabraxavir called on the international community to provide support in order to restore and operationalize Tigray's devastated health institutions. Sahul Shura Hospital in blockaded Tigray region sees over 50% premature births. Medical doctor at the hospital, Dr. Atakhalti, said 47 children have died due to lack of medicine and malnutrition within the last 6 months alone. Temnit Bayru has more on this story, filed by Medhin Gabrasilasi. These infants are born at Sahul Shura Hospital prematurely, underweight, and with birth defects. The breasts of the mothers are dry and unable to produce much-needed milk. Powder milk and other nutrition supplements are also unavailable. At the heart of the problem, all of this is the siege imposed on the people of Tigray and the blockade of the humanitarian aid. These twins are brought to the hospital after they were born prematurely. My twin daughters were born after only 7 months of pregnancy. Then I brought them here for the incubator. Milk was not coming out of my breasts. We are displaced from Badme town. We haven't received any support since we've come here. I have 6 children apart from my newborn. I am also epileptic. I take medicines for my seizures and was previously taking parental medicines as well. I think these medicines, coupled with the starvation, led to the drying of my breasts. My baby's not even getting a drop of breast milk. He's only surviving because other mothers have breastfed him. I was sick even during pregnancy. They advised me to take juice. Even that I couldn't afford. The result is that I couldn't supply the infant with the necessary breast milk. As you can see, the baby is in bad shape. The problem is not confined to 2 newborns. Older babies admit to the hospital as well are suffering from diseases caused by malnutrition as well as lack of medicine. We couldn't tell the land when the occupying forces were in control of our land. As we were displaced from our homes and in hiding, after they left, we tried to plant, but the yield was not sufficient. We are under starvation. My daughter's sickness is the result of malnutrition. Medical personnel of the hospital said malnutrition on pregnant and lactating mothers has led to high child mortality.
كيلوهم تحت يولدوا تنديتاتون بتناي إيكونومي شجر بتدني إناي إسوان كبان مسرة شجر.
Children are dying. Many are born underweight. Mothers are unable to provide enough breast milk for their babies due to malnutrition caused by the siege and the blockade. They cannot afford to buy them powder milk as they don't have any money. Milk is also not available in the market. As a neonatal nurse, I'm ready to take care of the children, but cannot because of the lack of medicine and medical equipment.
Medical
doctor at the hospital, Dr. Atakhalti, said 47 children have died due to the lack of medicine, malnutrition in the last 6 months. The death toll in children has reached about 47 over the last 6 months. Most of these deaths were caused by lack of medicine and supplies like fuel and could have been avoided. The number of infants with birth defects has increased. Over 50% are born prematurely. Medical personnel of the hospital said lack of medicine and equipment has caused the deaths of 20 people who could have been saved through minor surgeries. In a related news, at least 1,900 children under 5 have died from malnutrition in Ethiopia's embattled Tigray region within the past year alone. According to a study conducted by regional health officials and seen by the Associated Press, the deaths were recorded at health facilities across the entirety of Tigray between June last year and April 1st this year. However, Western Tigray, which is under the control of forces from the neighboring Amhara region, was not included in this survey. A doctor involved in the study said the true number of child deaths from malnutrition is likely as high as most families are unable to bring their children to health centers because of transportation challenges. Tigray has been cut off from the rest of Ethiopia since June, when fighters from Tigray Armed Forces recaptured most of the regional federal forces. Banking services, phone lines, and road links are all down in the region, a situation the United Nations has said amounts to the de facto blockade. The UN says more than 90% of Tigray's 5.5 million people require humanitarian assistance, including the 115,000 children who are severely malnourished. Hundreds of thousands are under famine as well. Ethiopia's federal government unilaterally declared a humanitarian truce on the 24th of March. An announcement is said would allow aid to flow into Tigray, but nearly 1 month later, only 4 convoys of around 80 food trucks have entered the region. Literally nothing has changed, said an aid worker who recently visited Tigray and told the Associated Press, "We are just seeing a handful of trucks, and these trucks are better than nothing, but they're not going to feed the millions of people who need aid immediately." An estimated 2,000 trucks of food must enter Tigray every week to meet the region's need, as the UN official said at a meeting in Nairobi in the Kenyan capital on Wednesday, according to the aid worker who attended. Ethiopia breaks silence over reports of Russia's recruitment in Addis. The Ethiopian government on Wednesday said it welcomes the statement issued by the Embassy of the Russian Federation in Addis Ababa, refuting reports of the recruitment of Ethiopians to join the Ukraine war on the Russian army. Addis Ababa, which supported Russia at the UN Security Council with regard to war on Ukraine, has been silent over the matter for days until the Russian embassy in Ethiopia officially issued a statement on Tuesday. Since Monday, the Russian embassy in Addis Ababa has been flooded by hundreds of young Ethiopians, including ex-soldiers who reportedly wanted to join the Russian troops in Ukraine.
We used to have a family, school, hospital, food, peace and freedom, but now we have none of them.
I don't know where my parents are.
I really miss my sister. Where is she?
I want to know where my dad is. I miss my mom. I don't see my brother.
So, people of the world, we are part of you. Please, we need your help. We have a dream. We want to make the world a better place for the people like us. Please, give us your hand. We are Tigrayan people. We are part of you. Act now.
10 people have been killed and 34 others are injured in a renewed conflict in the Oromo Special Zone of the Amhara region. Reports indicate that renewed violence in the Oromo and North Showa Zone and the Amhara region have claimed the lives of about a dozen people and displaced many others. Residents of the Jile Dumuga, Warada region's Oromo Special Zone told ID Standard that the conflict flared up on the afternoon of Sunday, April 18th. One resident, who spoke on the condition of anonymity, said Fano, a groomed of armed militia in Amhara region, launched the attack on the residents. One person died in front of me. I saw 3 other people die, and many were injured. He added that the attackers insisted that the Oromo Special Zone should be dismantled completely. The administrator of the Jaledu Muga Warada, Ahmed Mohammed, said that the Fano clashed with the special forces during the attempts by these special forces to intervene. Ahmed went to accuse Fano of inciting the conflict and explained that 10 people died and 34 others were injured within the conflict. Residents of Shawa Rovit had started fleeing before the conflict even reached their town. In related development, East Shawa Zone accused the Amhara extremists of burning an ambulance.
I want from Children Integral.
عارف
I need food, not warm. I need medicine, not warm. I need life, not to die. Please stand with me. Please stand with Children Integral. Thank you.